Hello, tribe. This is Valerie White Williams, and I'm learning to spot my eyes to the camera. So, what I want to talk to you today is about clearing emotional blocks. This is a heavier subject. Unfortunately, I have met and worked with many singers that had so much emotional blocks that made it difficult for them to sing or express themselves in a creative way. And it's hard because blocks can come from so many different things. I mean, some people actually were shamed when they were children and they were made fun of, and every time they open their mouth, they just hear the voice of that person that told them they were bad. Other times, people have actually gone through some trauma. There's been a death in the family, or they've been through a traumatic event, or maybe a car accident. I've actually even known people who've had trauma like that, and then their voice was blocked. There's like something that they just couldn't bring it out from that traumatic event or that traumatic relationship, breaking up with somebody that was really violent or just angry. And so the emotions get blocked. And the thing about the voice is that it's really tied to our emotions in a really big way, for better or for worse, because when we're happy and we can share, we can sing, it's a very fun release. But then when we have some emotional issues that come up for us, like these traumatic events, whether it's personal or even just being in the environment of experiencing something that was traumatic, our voice can get locked up. And I think it's because in our culture, we don't have a lot of permission to speak on emotional subjects. We're all told to kind of take care of it yourself, as children, oh, go to your room and cry. How many people were told that? I don't want to hear you cry. Go to your room, go cry by yourself. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. We don't want you have to be happy, 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 happy. So, we want to sing, we want to feel joyful, but sometimes there's that emotional block that's just blocking us. So I've heard people say that I'll start crying if I start singing. And I've actually worked with some people that were clearing with abuse issues, and they really wanted to sing. And then once they started breathing with the body, so I always start with breathing, then all of a sudden things locked up because they just had some emotional issues to clear. So that's a real tough issue for singers, is getting through that clarity. And that's something that I'm working on developing, is finding a way that singers can break through, not only vocally, technique-wise, but the emotional side. And that's sometimes the biggest and the worst and the hardest things to get through, because you can practice technique, you can practice how to breathe, we can do vocal exercises, we can do a lot of that stuff, and those things are very, very important. But if there's an emotional block there, it's only going to go so far. And I've noticed that even students that say they want to practice, they want to study, they'll get to that point, bam, and they're like thrown back to like the beginning of the game, like you're playing a board game, and then you're like back to the start. And you're like, what happened? I just want to feel joyful. I want to feel joy in my singing. And so sometimes it's not about how you sound or your experience, but it's about this other stuff that gets in the way of us feeling happy and clear and joyful. And that's the hard part. That's where that therapy has to get through. And that's where I think the spiritual coach side of me can really give you some clarity with some reading, with astrology, with just understanding where those blocks come from. And sometimes it's not even really clear and obvious. It's like you kind of have to dig and journal and figure out exactly what is blocking me, who said these things, what emotional thing am I not communicating. Because that's another thing. Sometimes when the voice is blocked, it means the emotions are blocked. The emotions are, you can't say what you feel. You can't say what you think. And then if you can't say what you feel and think, then you can't be free. That's one of my voice teachers. He said, Charles Peterson. I had so many great teachers. I just could go on. I've been extremely fortunate and gifted to have some master teachers that I've been able to learn from, so I can take it all together. And I've had some great spiritual teachers as well, so I can give you guys that information. And he said, it's all about vocal freedom. It's all about vocal freedom. Yeah, that makes it sound easy, But I really feel, especially living in our culture, which it's not the way we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live in communities where we're singing and dancing all the time and celebrating life on this beautiful planet. That's what our voices are supposed to be doing. But we don't live that way, at least not right yet. But maybe I'm always looking to that new world future where the voice is going to be something that we can share and heal ourselves. I think, and I don't only think, I believe that there's so much power in our voices. We have the power to heal. We have the power to get over things, and it helps when we do it together. And that's the other thing too, is that singing is supposed to be about community, but our culture has made it into competition, and it's made it into a product. And that usually doesn't make us feel good. We don't feel good being a competition. We don't feel good in a product. We want to feel the ease of our voice and allowing ourselves to heal ourselves and our emotions. So let me know if this works for you or resonates with you, because I would love to help you get over the blocks and the shame or whatever is keeping you from allowing your voice to be free. Because again, it's not always the vocal technique. It's about that emotional blockage that's not allowing you to speak out and be free. And yeah, I still have to look at the dot. So I'm looking at you, I'm talking to you guys, and I would love to hear from you. If you want any more information, please send me a private message, and I'd love to talk further. All right, love you guys, growing every day, and I so love this tribe. So take care, and we'll talk later. Bye.